Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks for coming back over to the YouTube channel. My name is Rick Smith Jr. And if you guys are new to the channel, this channel is all about cards, magic, card throwing, and trick shots. Today, I wanted to show you guys some of the card throwing cards that I use and have created. I have my Falcons and I have my Banshee Throwing Cards. Now, we are quarantined here, and I know a lot of you guys are bored at home, but I wanted to clear up some of the misconceptions about these throwing cards. Now, the Falcons, they were created by an artist, DeVoe, and myself. These cards are used for throwing, they're used for magic, and you can even use them if your guys are playing games at your house. So if you guys don't have one of these Falcon decks, you guys should go ahead and pick one of these up right now. And if you haven't gotten one, you can click the little iCard in the right-hand corner and grab one of these decks. The cool thing about the Falcons is they are a little bit thicker than your normal stock. USPC allowed us to print on a thicker stock for the first time ever. So we are the only ones in the world to have cards printed on this heavy stock. The Banshees, however, they're a little bit thicker as well, but they're made out of plastic. Okay, now the Banshees, they're no good for playing card games. They're no good for playing poker. They are only good for throwing. Now, there's two different ones, the Banshees and the Banshees Advanced. The difference between the two is the Banshees came out a few years ago, and they're a little bit thinner than the Banshees Advanced. These don't seem to break quite as often as these when thrown into a hard surface. That's why I would recommend you grab one of the card throwing targets, because that'll save these cards for a little bit longer. Another cool thing about the Banshees and the Banshees Advanced is there is a measuring system, which gives you an opportunity when you throw them into a target to measure how far you throw the cards into the target. I'm gonna use my assistant, Courtney, and she's gonna come in here. I'm gonna throw the cards as hard as I can into a piece of styrofoam, and we're gonna measure how far these cards go into the target. We're gonna see which card is the best to use for card throwing. Let's do it. Okay, so here's the deal. We're quarantined, so we're still practicing that 6 feet social distancing, which we recommend you guys all do. Stay at home, be safe, and grab yourself some cards. This is a fun little hobby, so let's do this. So we're gonna start off with the original Falcons. These are the gold Falcons. They also have a measuring system in the corner. These 3 stars, if you hit it into this target, you can measure how far you throw the card into it. So let's do this. Ready? Here's one. So if you look on the back, you'll see that I actually threw the card through all 3 stars, made it through the target. So that's a pretty good throw. That's one. The only difference between the gold and the silver Falcons is the design and the color. In the silver Falcon deck, we added a couple extra gimmick cards for magicians. As of for throwing, they're printed on the same stock. So these cards should go in just as far as the other one. That also made it about 3.5. So I recommend the Falcons, not only because I created them with DeVoe, it's a paper playing card. And as you can see, throwing through styrofoam, we're not ruining the edges of the playing cards. These cards are still in perfect playing position, so you can reuse them, use them for magic, use them for playing a game, and you can use them for throwing. So now we're gonna throw the Banshees and we're gonna throw the Banshees Advanced. We're gonna start with the Banshee card. It's a little bit flimsier than the Banshee Advanced. Kids. Look at that. It didn't even go as far as the Falcon card. But if you were to measure it, can you get a close-up right there? The card went in about 5/8. So we have one more card to throw. The Banshees Advanced. You ready, Court?
Yep.
Here we go. Now look at that, the Banshees Advanced. I'm gonna take this card out. We threw the Banshees Advanced card 1 inch through the styrofoam. So now we see that the Falcons throw just as well as the Banshees. Now the Banshees have holes in them. If you guys haven't noticed the holes in the cards, they're used for whistling. So if you're really throwing the card far and in a bigger crowd, these cards will actually whistle over the audience. Now the Falcons don't do that, but remember, the Banshees are only used for card throwing, whereas the Falcons can be used for playing games, doing magic, as well as throwing cards. I recommend both of these cards. I think that they're both sturdy, especially if you're throwing at a piece of styrofoam. You'll be able to keep the cards in pretty good shape for as long as you can. So you guys have to remember, when throwing your playing cards, you're gonna wanna throw into a styrofoam target or a cloth. If you throw the cards at a wall, I guarantee that these cards are gonna break into a million pieces. Check it out. Watch out, Court. Check it out. I hope I cleared up some of the misconceptions about the Falcons and the Banshee Throwing Cards. If you guys would like to grab one of these decks, make sure you guys click the little icon above, the iCard right here in the right-hand corner. You can grab yourself a target, you can grab yourself some of these throwing cards, and you can practice these cool card throwing stunts and perform them for your friends and your family. If you guys haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys click the subscribe button right over here. If you guys would like to watch the video from a few days ago, right here. And if you want any of the card throwing cards merch, right over there. We hope you guys had fun. We'll see you in the next video.